Welcome to our next video for our preschool and elementary teachers and helpers that are going to be working on Sundays and Wednesdays. Here is some information on what the routine and schedule of the classroom looks like. So at least 30 minutes prior to service, you need to arrive for your shift. We want to make sure that we are arriving with plenty of time to set the atmosphere for the classroom. That looks like tidying up anything that needs to be tidied up, setting up chairs how you want to use them for your lesson, getting out any games or activities, coloring pages, all of the things. Now this includes our teachers and our helpers. Both have a responsibility to set the classroom. It's not just the teacher to make sure that this happens. Then, 15 minutes prior to service, children actually are able to begin checking in. So we especially need to be ready 15 minutes prior to service so that we can welcome kids in. Now, this time is essential for making kids feel welcome and fun. That being said, we want to create a fun, welcoming environment for kids to come in that they want to come in. That gets their foot in the door, and from there, the Lord can take over, right? So this looks like thinking about what large games you want to have. Even if you prepare a large group game for them to do, helpers, this is a great thing for you to come prepared for. If the teacher is spending all week preparing the lesson, helpers, it's a great opportunity for you to just say, how can I engage the kids and make it easy for the teacher to have a group of kids that are eager to be there and eager to learn. So from there, eventually you're going to want to clean up, get things organized, whether that be right at the hour starting at 9 or 11 on a Sunday and 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. Or if you want to give them a little bit extra time, maybe you have kids that are still arriving or have just arrived and maybe they're a little timid and shy, and you just want to allow a few extra minutes for them to get acclimated to the classroom as well. But then we're going to enter worship. So this looks like either having 2 to 4 songs on the computer ready for the kids to worship to, or taking the kids into the sanctuary. And as much as possible, I do actually recommend this because there's a higher expectation level in the worship sanctuary. There's a good possibility that they are going to be looking for their parents, but that's okay. Of course, we're not going to allow the kids to go run around and go find their parents because we have to keep them all together. We have to keep track of the ones that have been left in our care, but they might see their parents worshiping, and that may motivate them and encourage them and inspire them to worship the way that they see their parents worship. Or maybe even another adult. Maybe their parents don't know how to worship. Maybe they're brand new. Maybe it's just, anyways, the atmosphere in the sanctuary is already set up for us to experience the Lord, right? The worship set has been prayed over. There are adults in there worshiping, welcoming the presence of the Lord. So it's a great opportunity for the kids to experience the Lord as well. However, that does not negate the fact that it's still very much possible of doing that through video worship sets in the classroom. We just want to be mindful of the videos that we're playing, making sure that they are focusing on our love for the Lord, focusing on blessing the Lord and welcoming Him in. So after worship, of course, we're going to go into our teaching time. Now, here is where I want to clarify that teaching time really isn't going to take up the whole rest of the service, right? It's not just worship and a message. Now, I do understand that that's what we're used to in the sanctuary, right? Adults have a much larger attention span, and this is where it becomes easier for teachers when you're only preparing for 10 to 15 minutes of teaching time. And I want all of the seeds that we plant to be intentional and to bear fruit, both in the kids' lives and in your own. You are sowing seed into your eternity in the kingdom by what you're pouring out now. And if it's sacrificial, if you've spent time throughout the week making sure that you're praying and preparing, then there's a harvest to come. But when we're showing up and we're unprepared, and again, I'll throw myself under the bus, I've 100% done this, okay? But I'm not absolutely not recommending this. But we're not setting ourselves up to sow the harvest that we desire. Okay? So after teaching time, there's opportunities to do an object lesson, to do a craft or a coloring, but the main thing that is important to me, because it's important to the Lord, is getting the kids into the presence of the Lord. Now, I know it can be very challenging to take the attention that you've gained in the classroom, have them line up and go into the prayer room and try to regain their attention. I completely understand sometimes it's all of a sudden like herding cats, trying to get them into a new room, get them settled all over. However, I believe that there's power in changing the atmosphere and going into a place that has been prepared specifically to spend time with the Lord. Number one, our volunteers, when you come in on a Sunday morning, if you show up at 8 o'clock for our team prayer time, we've already been praying in there. I pray in there from the time that I get in there. When I'm in there throughout the week, I'm praying in that room. To me, that is 100% designated. I can't say there's no distractions, but limited distractions for them. Just have a conversation with the kids quietly, privately, as they're praying and spending time with the Lord. The goal is to spend 10 to 15 minutes in the prayer room to allow them time to hear from the Lord. And for me, this is a non-negotiable. The kids need to be in the prayer room during every service. Lastly, as you go back to the classroom, it's a great time to have snack, to recap with, questions based on the lesson, ask the kids things that you taught on, make sure to see if they were paying attention. Of course, pass out all the res books, all of the things. Make it fun and engaging. But this is what the classroom routine looks like in the preschool and the elementary classrooms. And I greatly appreciate your service in teaching these kids. There is truly, to me, there is no higher calling than teaching the children. So thank you.